Okay, so I picked the maiden voyage for this Trek FX Plus 7S on a really windy day. It's a gorgeous bike. I love the, I hate the word cockpit, the handlebars, it's really nicely done. I'm not going to do an all out on this one, at least not today. When we moved out to the Northern Virginia suburbs, it was hard for my old injuries to withstand a really long ride on an analog bike, non-e-bike, regular. And I was resistant for a long time. I thought it was cheating. Then I was like, no, this is not cheating. You just go twice as far. Instead of averaging roughly 10 miles an hour on a regular bike, on these you average about 20. So right now, despite like an incredibly robust wind, as I'm having this conversation, I have the gears all the way in top speed and I'm pedaling 26 miles an hour. A little bit of a slight downhill, hitting some wind, 27. What I wanted to understand was, will it sustain a speed as a super light closer to, the 28 mile an hour top speeds afforded to class 3 bikes? Well, why is that? Well, when you're on a trail like this one, I think this trail is, 70 miles long or something. This drops you into DC just about maybe 2 miles max from the White House. So instead of sitting in traffic and waiting an hour and a half to cross the Potomac, e-bike on in. You get exercise, you save tolls, gas, parking, you save the road rage experience. This is not a throttle bike. I don't really want one. My preference is to ride something that will force me to exercise. It seems like with the newer Superlights, and many of the bikes, of course, they frequently come now with an additional range extender. I say get them. One little trick inside of the apps, you can typically set your bike to use the battery from the range extender first, which will preserve the life of your other battery. Like for this Trek and for some other bikes, that's awesome because they're internal batteries. I'm coasting at 25 right now. If on a regular bike, especially in the wind, I'd be averaging probably about 9. I feel like this particular bike, it feels like it's sized a little small, but it rides really nice. And the shifting on this is incredible. So I was looking around and I bought this Trek FX Plus 7S off of Trek's Red Barn website. I'd never heard of it before. Literally like a week ago I got this. Very impressed. It's called a quote unquote used bike. This wasn't used. It had like 0.8 of a mile on it. One advantage, it's assembled. And no matter how advanced you are or aren't, it's just nice to have it assembled by a pro who knows how to adjust the brakes and the derailleurs and the shifters and on and on. Wow, this ride's really freaking good. It's comfortable. This is a definite recommend. I really like the way this bike rides. I think this bike with the range extender, I think the range extender is a must. If you buy a bike that doesn't have a removable battery, you need a range extender, period. If you get to an office building where you can't bring the bike inside to charge it, you can charge the range extender, and or you don't need to because you have the additional range. You decide to meet a friend, tack on another 15 miles, and you don't have to think twice. You've already got the range. Plans change. I'm going 29 miles an hour right now, getting ready to zoom up this reasonably steep little hill. I stayed up right at about 20 up and over that hill. My other bike that I ride, which I love, it's a carbon superlight, won't do that. Utopia Carbon 1 Pro has a 350 watt rear hub. It won't crush that hill in the way that this one just did. Going 31 right now. I'm going to tell you right now, I go up and down this trail a lot. It's just going about 30. I never hit 30 miles an hour through here. I don't think I ever have. And I've been e-biking down this on a carbon superlight for about a year. Never hit 30. Another thing I'm noticing, my other bike is an 8-speed shifter. I don't know if this is a 10, 11, or 12, but I noticed the difference. It's helpful. Working at an e-bike store, 2 questions that happen all the time. Does it have a throttle? How fast does it go? I think, that's a different kind of bike. And sometimes for some people, I don't even think that should be an e-bike. That should be a mini bike or a motorcycle if you don't want to pedal. If you want to get some exercise and still get the feel and the sense of a bike and get there quicker, and if you have some mobility or age or injury related issues like I do, stuff like this is Man, it's just life-changing. Trek really delivered on this bike. You know, another thing I gotta say, this is a good looking bike. When I took it out of the shipping box, I was like, wow, that is a beautiful bike. My 3 favorite bikes for what I do, which is a little more distance commuting on trails like this, would be the Urtopia Carbon 1 Pro, this Trek FX7 Plus S is now on that list, and I've got a specialized Turbo Vado SL 5.0 that hasn't been ridden yet back at the house, and it's gorgeous. We'll see how that rides and how that compares to this one. This one is a 2025 model. That one's brand new, but it's a 2023. I want to talk about seats a little bit. The seats that all these Superlights ship with, aesthetically, they look a hell of a lot better, right? Because these bikes are a little more svelte. They got that cool kind of svelte uphill aesthetic look to them. But the seats, they're not really for long range riding, I think. So before changing this seat, I think I would try a suspension seat post, maybe like a Redshift, maybe like a Cane Creek, the brand out of Seattle area, Connectic, something like that. You know, another thing I'm noticing on my Urtopia Carbon 1 Pro, I put a little bit skinnier tires, I think 38s, and then on the Carbon 1 Pro, they went to a wider tire, which gives a little more comfort. This one, I think, is even a little wider than that, and it's a lot more comfortable. Just up the street here, there's a truck store. I actually want to pop in there and ask them if this is a small or a medium. Hey, how you doing? I got a quick dumb question. Is this a small or a medium? I like the Superlights, and this thing rides phenomenally.
It's a nice bike. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great bike. I'm super impressed.
Glad to hear you love it.
Oh, I do.
Would you say it's on more on the perfect side, or is it more on the, like, just okay?
It's pretty badass.